And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Coach's Cage program for this February the 21st, nearing the end of the regular season for high school boys basketball. Sectionals begin next week, so we're going to recap the past week's games and then look ahead to postseason play coming up. Some teams starting next Tuesday, some next Wednesday, and some next Friday. So Daniel Jakes, assistant coach for the North White boys basketball team, has joined us. Daniel, good to see you. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing good. Let's talk about how many games did you have to talk about since last Wednesday, and tell us about them.
Yeah, we got two games. We had a great game that you guys got to be at on Friday when we played West Central for our senior night. I went back and watched your guys' broadcast, see what we could pick up from you guys, and one thing that you guys repeatedly mentioned was just what an atmosphere it was, and when we can get our band there, and fans from both schools. I mean, that there's no better gym
right
to play in, and both teams wanted to win, and it was a great game, and we were fortunate to come out on top. Could have been a coin flip, and our guys just kind of turned it on the second half, and excuse me, helped us pull away there. It was one of our better shooting from two nights, and we went 16 of 33 from two, and Dane Hood led us in scoring with 22, 9 rebounds and 5 steals, and
it's a pretty good night of work.
Yeah. And then Chris and Braylon Sipkema both had 8 points apiece, with Braylon having all 8 and come in the fourth quarter. So, we've struggled when Dane goes out with foul trouble in past games, and Dane went out with 4 fouls with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then fouled out with a minute or so and change, and Braylon really stepped up for us. He was a leader, and did an awesome job handling the ball, getting us some buckets, and taking care of business for us.
All right, then the next game?
And then we traveled to Pioneer, played another really close game.
That was Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
And, one thing that our scouting report said was, 3-point shooters. And we were followed the scouting report, and they went 0 of 13 from 3, I believe. And, we ran them off the 3-point line, but, man, we just beat ourselves sometimes. And, they had 22 offensive rebounds. We had 21 turnovers, and
it's not a good combo.
No, and we tell our guys, sometimes we just beat ourselves. It's not even that we're losing to teams; we're just beating us. And when we put a game together, which we've seen glimpses of it, but coming down the stretch, we're really hoping either tomorrow, when we travel to Faith, or next Tuesday at Caston when we play West Central, that we can put a full game together, and I think we're really hard to beat when we can do that.
All right, we'll recap the entire regular season probably a couple weeks from now. So let's talk about the sectional. West Central, you've already played twice. Tell us about the first 2 games you played against them.
Yeah, first game they kind of slapped us in the mouth, and they took it to us, and we played up in the holiday tournament up in South Central, and it was a consolation game, and I had talked to Brad before the game last Friday, and he just said it was a game of pride, and whoever won that game just wanted it more. And our guys, it was unfortunately evident that West Central was just playing harder, and nothing to take away from them. They did an awesome job beating us to the ball, winning 50-50 balls, and just getting to the rim and sticking to their game plan. But Friday felt like we kind of executed down the stretch, took care of the ball. I want to say we only had 17 turnovers, but figured it, comparatively to numbers in other games, that it's improvement, and that's what we want to see coming down the stretch. So we're getting shorter numbers, and hopefully we can eliminate some of those knucklehead turnovers.
Tell us about West Central.
They've got Bryce Naniga, and man, he can play just about anywhere in the area, and he'd still average about 17, 18 points a game. And Brendan Grindstaff can do a little bit of everything. Shoot the ball into the rim, shifty, quick. We always got to know where those two are where those two are at on the court, and defensively, that they're going to bring pressure, and they're going to get after it. So we got to stay composed with the ball, and be strong with itching the ball, good rip throughs, and smart passes.
Tell us what you think about the rest of the sectional there.
Man, it's wide open. There isn't a team above 500, and if anybody gets hot a certain night, anybody can win it. And you obviously hope that you're the team that gets hot and
That's right.
wins a couple games and can move on to regional. But we got to play Tuesday, and then we'll look forward. But focus right now is tomorrow at Faith, and then shift our focus to the next week, Tuesday.
Now, do you get to go over to Caston to practice or no?
Nope. Since we played over at Caston, per IHSA, we're not allowed to practice over there. So, it's unfortunate that we don't get to do that, but it's a rule. So we got to take what we get and come out there and play hard.
So how does the practices before the sectionals, are those the same as they were throughout the regular season? Are they different, or how do you approach that?
I've really liked our energy the last two nights. We've brought a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm to the court, which is something that we really haven't seen for a little while. And so we've got guys really speaking up in practice and getting after it. And so we love the way that we're approaching the end of the season, and hopefully that translates to the court.
What are going to be the keys to playing well against West Central?
Like I had said, just got to be strong with the ball, make smart passes. Can't force anything. They love to pressure, and we've been really bad in the past about one dribble pickups, and so you just got to retreat dribble and then create that space to make that next pass. And we got to have guys coming to the ball and not running away from it. And we can't shy away in the moment. This is what we play 22 games in the regular season for, and practice from, who knows, August to now. So it's all a cumulative approach to what you hope to being cutting down nets and hosting a trophy. But you got to take it one game at a time, and that starts with West Central on Tuesday. So
how do you handle the pressure of a sectional when compared? It's not like in the regular season you lose a game, you just go to the next one, but this one you're done if you lose.
I'm sure that there are plenty of people that see 5 and 16 and they can win a game, and 9 and 12 Caston's going to take care of them. But it's something that you just got to play with house money, and I think our guys are at their best when they're loose. They don't have any pressure, and I don't see any pressure to us. We hear it, and it's something that motivates us, and we just got to take it and move on, and you got to leave it all on the court. So
all right, Daniel, we'll let you go, and good luck tomorrow night, and good luck next week, and we'll have a recap of your sectional game a week from tonight. All right?
Alrighty, appreciate it.
Daniel Jakes from the North White Vikings, back with more of the Coach's Cage Show on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
At Applegate Seed House, we specialize in any and all small seed project needs. This includes government programs, CRP, pollinators and waterways, pasture mixes, and new lawn seed. Applegate Seed House is located 2 miles north of Brook, Indiana, and 2.5 miles east of Highway 41. Call Sam at 765-363-3113. That's Sam at Applegate Seed House, 765-363-3113.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Welcome back to the Coach's Cage Show. Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller with you tonight, live from Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer, right across from St. Joseph's College. Coming out and join us at Arnie's. They really treat us well here with feeding the coaches, giving them drinks, and we do appreciate that. Appreciate all our sponsors, too, making the show possible. Brad Odom has stepped behind the microphone from the West Central Trojans boys basketball team. Brad, thanks for coming over. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Well, you put on quite a display with North White over there at North White on Friday night. Was that the first game we got to talk about? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was quite a battle.
Yeah, tough fought game. Teams that know each other well. We'd played each other earlier in the year. They had a really good game plan to kind of took us out of some of our rhythm offensively, and we had to figure things out on the fly and battle back. And had a lead late and made a few mistakes. They capitalized on those mistakes, and bottom line, they got us by 1.
Yeah, it was really tilted in your favor for most of the game until the end.
Yeah, I think we had a 7-point lead, maybe late third quarter, early fourth quarter. They got a couple of transition opportunities where we made mistakes and they got out on us and we missed a rotation, hit a couple layups. Then we fouled in a couple positions and they got a couple of free throws off of those. And then bottom line, we needed to be a little more patient. We talked to the kids after the game about trying to look for certain things when the game gets tight. And we hadn't been in that situation very much before, and we were a little depleted, got all kinds of new kids and new faces in different roles. So, it's a learning experience for us, even though we're this deep in the season. And, we've tried to address that over the last couple of days in practice and let them know, hey, here's really what we want you guys to be able to execute and what we want you to do if we see that situation again.
Who played well for you that night?
Bryce Naniga led us in scoring, I believe, with 17.
That's a normal night for him.
It is, and honestly, it might have been a little less than what we needed at that point in time. He was bodied and banged on pretty well. They did a good job of being really physical with him and trying to push him away from the basket. They did a great job on Brendan Grindstaff as well. Brendan's our freshman point guard, and they put their best athlete on him, the hood boy. and his length and his athleticism kind of frustrated him. So we had to go back, and practice and say, hey, here's what you need to do in these situations. I don't think he's ever been guarded by a 6'1", 6'2" kid in his life. So
it's a learning experience, isn't it?
absolutely, and the more you play and the more things that you see at the varsity level, the more things you'll be comfortable with. And all of those things, at least in the past, maybe they haven't been able to play through those things, or maybe didn't know exactly how to attack them. So we see something similar to that. Hopefully the next time we'll be a little more prepared.
And then you played when again?
We haven't.
You haven't played, just...
No, we've got 3 games.
Oh,
in this
that's
week.
right. You got that. I've never heard of a team playing 3 games in a row.
No, and it was a deal where we only had a couple of slots to be able to put Rensselaer and Pioneer in. And, knowing that was going to be kind of centered around our senior night, I didn't want the kids to lose those games.
Right.
You never want to say, hey, we can't fill you in. We had dates. They just aren't the greatest dates for us. So we'll do what we can, and we'll get through it, and hopefully, we'll be healthy enough to be ready to go and get a little bit of a rest and a short sectional practice on Monday to be ready to go on Tuesday.
How do you handle that? Playing 3 games in a row, will that adjust your coaching style there for 3 games in a row?
I think each game will dictate what we do. Will we be able to press and trap and get out and transition for 3 straight days? Probably not. But however we need to adjust. We've tried to play a variety of styles and do a variety of different things all year long. And if we've got to be able to do that and we can be competitive and have an opportunity to win, then that's all I can ask for. So, there might be times where we need to speed up, and there might be times where we got to slow it way down. and we've been trying to work that in all year and show our kids what those styles look like. Because, when you get to a sectional game, even if you're a team that likes to play in transition all the time, you get heavily scouted by a guy like Carl Davis or Harrington from Tri-County. You're going to play in the 30s or 40s whether you want to or not. So you got to be able to adapt and be able to do those things well.
And who are the teams you play?
So we got Rensselaer tomorrow night, and we'll have our hands full with them. They're going to be bigger and stronger, and they're kind of streaky the way that they shoot the ball. And
yep.
If they get on a roll, from the 3-point line, everybody's in trouble.
Right.
So we'll have some difficulty defending them, and we'll have to be able to be really sound in our gaps and get out to shooters, and then battle like crazy to be able to rebound against some of their size and strength. Lake Station is Friday night. That's our senior night. Lake Station's had a little trouble this year. They're struggling. They primarily play a 2-3, so that might be an opportunity to play a little bit slower, and keep that game at a snail's pace maybe. And then we finish the year at Pioneer. Pioneer's had some really good wins in the last month where they beat a couple of pretty good teams. And they've had some days where they've scored in the low 40s too. So for whatever reason, you just never know what you're going to get or what you're going to see out of area teams. And, we've just got to find a way to battle and keep things close however necessary.
Well, let's go to the sectional now. And we heard Daniel Jakes talk about the North White perspective. And I'm assuming every one of you coaches right here now are going to say everybody's got a chance.
Well, you hope so. When you get in that environment, it's a lot of adrenaline. If you can get the momentum swinging in your favor,
absolutely.
Especially for some of us that might be the underdogs coming in. If you can keep things close, then the crowd will get behind you, even if they're not from West Central or from North White or wherever they are. They get excited and they want to see good teams. In a nail biter, and you never know. So. For us that might be, considered at the bottom of the bracket, we've got to make sure that we do anything in our power to keep games close and put that pressure on somebody else. There's not going to be any pressure on us going into the sectional game.
That's what he said.
We've got a team that we know well.
Yeah.
We got them pretty good the first time, and it was one of those deals where I think we were a little more motivated to play hard in a consolation game, and they were a little more frustrated with what had happened earlier in the morning, and we had something to prove. And then we come into their night on senior night, and made some plays down the stretch. I think it's going to be a similar game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought, hopefully well-executed game on both sides, and something the fans can enjoy.
Tell us what you know about North White.
Everything goes through the Hood kid. You know, he's a great athlete. He gets them set in pressure. He gets kids moving around. If he can break you down and get into the lane, it's almost unstoppable because he's going to shoot over any guard that he gets in there with. He does a great job of rebounding, which allows them to also get out in their break. They don't run a lot, but when they do, it's typically when the ball is in his hands and he's finding the right kids. And this kid's a pretty good shooter. You know, he knocked down 2 or 3 runners in our game that really hurt us at different times. And they're going to scrap. You know, they did a great job of being physical with us, and it kind of took us out of our flow. So we're going to have a battle on our hands.
Do you find in sectional play that the scoring's a little bit lower than normal and you get it in a regular season?
Absolutely. You know, some of that is, you know, the amount of scouting that everybody does. Huddle makes everything easy now, man.
Yeah.
You know, everything's on film, and you can break it down and clip it up, and you can literally run the same play 4 or 5 times and see everything. And you know, and when you're so close, as we all are talent-wise, they're not going to be played fast. They're just not. And you know, looking back on, you know, some of my history in games, you know, where you're in sectional finals, they're not played consistently in the 50s and 60s. Around here, they're played in the 40s.
Right.
And that's not only the scouting, but it's also the kids get a little tight in that moment.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a little more pressure than maybe some of these kids have had before. And you know, we're not playing in front of packed houses all the time in 1A basketball and 2A basketball, but in a sectional you do.
Right.
So the atmosphere creates some of those nerves, and you know, it's just a fun part to be around.
Right.
You know, and I hope our kids enjoy it. I hope we thrive in it and play well, and you know, and we have a chance to move on.
What are going to be the keys to playing well against North White?
First off, we got to contain Hood. We've got to keep him out of the lane. If he can get to the lane and break us down, he's going to hit that 10, 12-foot jump shot, or he's going to find a kid that can knock down a jump shot because we've got 2 kids on him.
Contain him. Would you say 10 points okay? 12 points okay?
Depends on if this game's in the 30s or 40s. You know, we've got to find a way to pressure. You know, they did a really good job of handling our pressure this last time. We didn't get them to turn it over nearly as much. So we might have to adjust that and see if we can tweak that a little bit and get them out of some rhythm as well. I thought they were well prepared for our pressure. So we'll have to adjust some of the things that we did there. And then bottom line, if we can't get Brendan Grindstaff sprinting the ball up the floor where he's a little more comfortable and can use his speed against their size, you know, we had trouble getting into our offense. So if we can get out into space and we can get Brendan and Bryce running and Connor running, you know, that just makes us a lot harder to guard. And if you keep us in the half court, you know, we sometimes have a little difficulty.
I'm assuming you're not going to go over to Caston to practice then.
No. Since we played there during the year.
Oh, you played there during the year.
Yeah, since we played there during the year, we don't.
Even if you didn't, you probably wouldn't have, with the schedule you got, would you?
Probably not. We're going to have a sectional dinner at our place in our cafeteria Monday night after a very light practice because I've got to do everything to make sure that we try to save our legs.
Sure. Brad, thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. And good luck on the NBA schedule coming up starting tomorrow. And good luck on Tuesday. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Brad Odom from the West Central Trojans. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KGthecage.com after this.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Back on the Coach's Cage show on 3kgthecage.com. Scotty Miller running the board and the camera and the laptop and everything tonight. And I'm Bob Kurtz. We're joined by Trent Fegley from the Frontier Falcons boys basketball team. Trent, good to see you. How's it going?
It's going well. We've been kind of getting ready for this sectional run. Got a couple games to button up here, just one more on Friday, and then we're ready.
Let's recap the two that you played since we talked last.
Yeah, so we had we were supposed to have Attica. It got canceled and moved to Monday, so it kind of flipped our schedule there. But Saturday night would have been senior night. We had DeMont Christian at our gym. Back and forth game the entire way. They got up on us a little bit early, and it was hard for us to get back. I think they jumped out to about a 12-point lead, maybe mid-second quarter. And every time we would get it to 7, they'd get it back to 12. We'd get it to 6, they'd get it back to 12. And so we just couldn't get over the hump. They have an old basketball team that knows how to handle the ball. They handled our pressure pretty well. Just in general, we didn't perform quite how we wanted to. Didn't play poorly by any means. Our defense was good. We just struggled to put it in the basket a little bit. Missed some easy ones and just couldn't get into a flow on offense. But overall, we were happy. I mean, it's a good basketball team. Like you said, 15-win team. We're never out of the game, until the last couple minutes, and we really knew we couldn't quite reel them all the way in. But there were several times where we got it to 7 or 8, and they took a timeout to where we were like, all right, we're a possession or two away from really making this a game, and we could never really get to that spot. And then we jumped back this week. And went
who were the bright spots?
Bright spots in that game. It honestly was really, really spread out. Some of the guys that tend to put it in the basket a lot for us that day, I think we had one of them with 4 and one of them with 6, so a lot of guys stepped in and really helped out. But it was as evenly spread out as it can be, and as weird as it is to be happy in a loss, we were happy that the scoring was spread out because that means the other guys are finally starting to step up, and they've done that the second part of the season. So as far as big games from anybody, not really. I mean, everybody was just as solid as they could be. Anybody we put in, didn't disappoint. We're putting in the basket a little bit. We just didn't get big performances from the guys that we're generally looking for.
Okay, next?
Next game, we went Monday to Attica. They've struggled a little bit this year. It was nice that we could get out there and try some things that we wanted to try, maybe coming into the sectional, and we didn't do anything special and anything new, but it was nice to kind of tune up and see some things. But we jumped out to a big lead. I think we got out to 17-0. And we were playing good defense. Our pressure, you've seen us, it can be difficult for people. So we were able to turn them over a little bit and get going. And then we started making some shots, and that got us going too. I was able to pull all the starters like mid-third quarter and didn't play them the rest of the game. So coming down the stretch to save some legs was huge. We ended up winning that one 74-30, I think. putting in the basket at a high clip. We brought the guys in off the bench and played the fourth quarter, and they did a fantastic job. But, again, very spread-out game. I think Chase Winkler ended up having 18, and he would have been our leader. But everybody else, we had a bunch of guys between 7 and 11. So, again, I was super happy with that Monday. Yeah.
All right, one game left. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so one game left. It's Clinton Central on Friday at Clinton Central. They're like 2-19 or 2-17, but I've watched them on film, and that's kind of misleading. They lost to Delphi by 1. Like they beat Attica by 40. So like they're not a 2-19 basketball team.
Right.
They play a tough schedule, and it looks like they've just had trouble finishing games off, but they've got some skilled guys and some really big boys underneath. So
you got to convince your guys of that.
100%. We've talked about that already several times this week. Like, do not look at 2 wins and think, because the hard part is they looked at Attica with 2 wins, and then that happened Monday.
Right.
And now they're like, well, another 2 win. Where I'm like, don't do that. This late in the season, we got to go play still. And so what I like about it is their big guys down low are going to give us the best look possible at maybe like a Tri-County or something from our sectional to kind of let us match up against another big team here down the stretch. So that'll be kind of nice.
Then sectional comes around over at Caston.
Yep.
I've talked to 2 of you guys already, but we never said, could you tell us who's playing who and when?
So you have Tuesday night matchup on our side. So we're the bye on our side. And then that matchup is Tri-County South Newton with us on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Then you drop to the bottom. You have Caston with the bye, the hosts.
Right.
And then you have North White, West Central.
For the 3rd time.
Yep, for the 3rd time. And then you have, obviously we get the winner of South Newton Tri-County, and we'll be the early game on Friday. We'll be the 6 o'clock.
So I'm looking at that. I'm thinking anybody could win that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Anybody can win that. I think I think in an honest moment, you ask any of us, we probably say that Tri-County is probably the runaway favorite. I mean, they're the old team, a lot of seniors. They're big. They have the most wins. So I would say they're probably the favorite pretty significantly. But everybody else, I think, is right there kind of nipping at their heels. But we're chasing a little bit, and everybody knows that we're chasing that. They won it last year, so I think they're probably far and away the favorite right now. But I don't think anybody's looking at it like you said and saying, oh, we got no chance to win this thing.
So will you go over Tuesday and watch and scout and observe? What do you do when you're watching other teams play?
So when we go over there, we know each other so well, and we've watched film, and we've seen them in person, and we've played them. And so honestly, my more concern is to get over there and really get to see the environment, especially with such a young team like I have. I want the freshmen to see, like, okay, it's a little different, right? Like,
a little more pressure, right?
Right. Not saying that Tuesday is going to be this huge packed gym, but just there's just a different energy in the air. I want the guys to notice that and get to see it a little bit. And then, it's always nice to go over there and see, because those Tuesday night games, anything can happen. I mean, South Newton's playing good basketball right now, so you never know.
What's Frontier going to have to do to play well next week? Regardless of who you play.
Yeah, regardless of who we play, we're just going to have to stick to what we do, and that's kind of what I've told the guys. It's like the record doesn't show that we've had this great year, but, like, me seeing what we were at the beginning to seeing what we are now is we're a team that's worthy of cutting down nets. I mean, we really are. In the sectional that we're in, we believe that we've got a shot to come in there and make some noise, and we just have to do what we do well. We pressure people. We're more athletic than a lot of people, but we know that size can limit us sometimes, so we have to keep the pace where we want it. And then just kind of believe that anybody that comes in off the bench, we don't have to like help them up and like pull them up. They're at the same level. We have 8 or 9 guys that we know can sub in and kind of help each other out. But as far as that, I mean, if we just play our game, push the tempo, and then just play our half-court defense the way we do, we'll be just fine.
You worry about the sectional pressure with you guys being such a young team?
I don't, and I think it's because, I'll be honest, I put a lot of pressure on the guys every day. It's something that we've really, really worked on. Early on in the season, we always joked about, like, somebody be hitting 5, 6, 7 free throws in a row. I come over and stand in the lane or whatever, the next one's a miss. We always joke around and be like, well, I can't even stand here. We're just messing around. But I like to put a lot of pressure on the guys. I'm pretty hard on them in practice and stuff, because I don't want them to be comfortable at any time, because they got to start to be comfortable being uncomfortable, pushing these young guys into that. So that doesn't bother me at all. I've got some competitive guys, and that's not a worry of mine right now.
How about you? Your first sectional game, as a new coach, a head coach, what are your feelings on it for yourself?
I'm more excited than anything because I always tell the guys like that I live for this feeling. Like to compete in more high pressure games, like you can't beat the feeling. It's fun. And so getting them to feel this feeling and not think of it as nerves, but think of it as they're excited to go have a good time, it's kind of just how you shape it. And so I'm more excited than anything because, I mean, we've talked about it since the beginning of the year. This is what we're playing games for. A lot of times we joke around and say, like, you have 22 practice games. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you told me, hey, you're going to be 1-21 and win a sectional every day, sure, fine. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be great as long as we're getting better. That's fine. So, like, we want to have a good record and everything, but the least of my worries is record when we get to the postseason. I just want to win.
Well, good luck the rest of this week in the regular season, and guess when we talk next week, you'll know who you play, and we'll go from there then, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
Trent Fegley from the Frontier Falcons, back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KGthecage.com right after this.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Every day you listen to the news, but how is that news affecting your financial world? Things like your retirement and your kids' college fund. You need someone who can help you work towards your goals. Someone to help you move forward in the times of change. Call Mindy Byer at Morgan Stanley. Mindy has 20 years of experience as a financial advisor, and she's right here in Northwest Indiana. To make an appointment with Mindy Byer, call 765-420-8433. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask, give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Bob Kurtz back with you on Coach's Cage show on 3KG. Scotty Miller running things behind the scenes here. Feels like we're just talking about the cast and sectional here with the first few coaches. We heard from North White, West Central, and Frontier. So now we're going to hear the South Newton side of things from Coach Ricky Monemeyer. Ricky, good to see you. How you doing?
Pretty good. About you guys?
Doing good. We're just keeping on our theme for the cast and sectional, and we'll get to your thoughts there, but you've got a couple games to recap first, right?
Yeah. We went this past Saturday, over to North Miami. For us, that is about an hour and a half drive. So we played at a weird time. I think our JV started at 11, which means we left the school at 8, got there around 9:30.
Coaches don't like that.
Yeah, 9:30 or so, just to get there and moving so the guys weren't, getting off a bus and stepping right on the floor and trying to play. So
right.
We got there early, and it was not a good day of basketball for us. Our JV did not play particularly well, and I wouldn't say our varsity played awful, but we just didn't defend as well as we wanted to. They've got a kid that can really score, and the Jake Riley kid. I think his mom was an Indiana All-Star when she was in high school. He had 26, and then they had another kid that typically doesn't score a ton, had 17. So he was just hitting shots. They were smooth. Honestly, probably their best offensive output of the year, and we still scored 51, but they scored 61. So It was one of those games where if we defended a little better, we got a couple more rebounds, rotated a little better, it could have been in our favor, but it wasn't. Our guys battled. We were down 5 at half, and then we were down 5 after third quarter, so it was pretty even. And then fourth quarter, it was just one of those things. Like, it just couldn't eat away at it enough. We were just battling back and forth, and then down the stretch they hit some free throws and knocked down a couple shots and sealed it. So leading us in that game, we had Chase and Colton Marks both with 16, and then Matthew Armstrong had 10. So scoring spread out exactly how we wanted. It's how it's been for the last handful of games for us. We've had 3 guys right around double figures or in double figures. So it's like night and day from last year. We still talk about it as a staff. The turnaround's not as big as we thought it'd be this year. We thought we'd have a little bit more than 3 wins, but you can just see the difference in the way we play, and our averages and everything else are just like blow the other team out of the water. So we're happy with that. We just, we wish there was a couple more wins here and there to sprinkle in there, and that was a winnable game. North Miami was 2 and whatever, 3 and whatever going into that game. So we thought going in, pretty realistic shot, and it just wasn't our day.
Okay.
And then Monday we had a conference game.
The old Monday game, huh?
Yeah, I don't like those. I think we're working on moving this game next year to end of the week or something, to where it's not a conference game on a Monday, because you have no time to prepare for it when you have a game Saturday. So we went down there. It was our senior night.
Where was that at?
At Faith.
Faith? Okay.
Yeah, Faith Christian. And, they're a really good team. The record shows that they're like 10 and 11, 11 and 11, whatever they are. And you just know they're a lot better than that based off of like scores they've put up. They scored 90 on Frontier. They beat Tri-County by 3. They had, I think, 51 in that game, 52. And then there's other games where they've scored like in lower figures. So it's kind of one of those, like, they're so up and down. It's hard to read like which team you're going to get. And honestly, I thought we played pretty well. We held their leading scorer, who usually averages 17 a game, to 5. Better defensively, but a couple of their guards really shot well from 3. They ended up hitting 9 threes on us.
Whoa.
And I mean, that was one of our focuses, obviously, in the game. Like, they are going to shoot 1 through 11, 12 guys on the floor. Like, whoever they put out there is going to want to shoot threes. So it's just one of those, you get out of position just enough, you give a little bit too much daylight, and it goes up, and they're just hitting shots. And not much we could do to really change that. It's just, like I said, one of those nights where they're really on.
When you hit threes, that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Makes a big, especially when we're not a 3-point shooting team, so it's a lot harder for us to eat away and catch up in those games. But we lost 70-41. It did not feel like a 29-point loss. We talked to the coaches afterwards, like as a group, and we're like, we lost by 29, but it did not feel like we lost by 29. It was one of those. They had a few more threes. We battled. We missed a lot of free throws. We missed 11 in the game, so that's obviously a 10-point difference, 11-point difference. So ball bounces differently a couple different times, and we don't allow them to get second chance points. Third quarter was kind of rough with that. They got a lot of second chance points, and that's one thing we've really focused on this week, is the defensive end and not giving up second chance points. So hopefully our guys are gearing up, ready to go down this final stretch as we head to sectional play next week.
What's remaining for South Newton?
We are down at Attica Friday. Attica, 2-win team. Traditionally has not been very good the last few years, but I told the guys, like, they are scoring a lot more this year, so it's not one of those that it's an easy win. If we go down and lay an egg, or we play down to their level, or don't play our brand of basketball, it's a game we could lose. So just getting in their ear about, we have to show like our best basketball right now going forward as we get into sectional play. I think we will, but it's just one of those, like, can't look over them, especially with it being our last game of the season. We've got to execute and then get to sectional next week.
Now, speaking of sectionals, the Tri-County coach Ryan Harrington said he couldn't make it tonight because Tri-County's practicing at Caston tonight, so that's why you don't hear Ryan. So tell us what you think about the sectional.
I guess I've been saying this, I think, since I've been coming here. Obviously, I think Tri-County is the favorite based off record, based off they've beat everybody in the sectional right now. They're 5-0, whatever it is. They're playing good basketball right now. They've lost some games down the stretch, but they've also played some really tough teams. They've played West Lafayette, they've played Benton Central, they've played Clinton Prairie. teams that, we would not beat probably either. So it's one of those games like, yes, they've lost a few down the stretch here, but they are playing good basketball. But we look at the last game we played against them, and we had that big layoff of not playing. And I thought we matched up, particularly well with them for the most part. It's a rivalry game, but now instead of playing 20 minutes apart from each other, we got to travel an hour 20 to go play them at a different venue, which is kind of cool. But I think our guys are excited, ready to go, get another shot at those guys. They provide some tough matchups for us, but we've got some size inside that I think that can help us be in our favor. If we defend well, if we are scoring, if we're getting rebounds, we'll be in good shape. If we're throwing the ball around the gym, if we're not hitting free throws, if we're not super engaged, if we're not getting rotations right on the defensive end, then we're going to be in some trouble. So hopefully we're gearing up. We've got a game plan for them, and we've already started implementing that kind of stuff this week, and hopefully we're building on that, like I said, as we take Atticus Friday, and then we travel over to Caston on Saturday for a sectional practice.
And you're the first game of the sectional.
First
too,
game,
right?
So 5 o'clock our time, which means we will probably leave school a little early to get over there, just so we're not rushing to get off the bus and change and get on the floor. You can't get on the floor until 20 minutes before anyways, but we like to get there a little bit early, just so our guys don't have to feel like they're just changing and going. So we'll chat with Coach Bell to see if when we can leave, but plan is to leave early and get over there and hopefully put on a good show. I think we haven't won a sectional game since 2017-ish, 16, somewhere in there. So it's been a while since South Newton's won a sectional game, and it's kind of one of those goals that circled the beginning of the year. You want to win a sectional, but I think our biggest hump right now is we've got to win a sectional game. So we win one, anything can happen. Our draw is, like I said, we drew one of the tougher teams in the sectional, but I think that on our best night we can compete in that game.
Do you worry about sectional pressure or no?
I don't. I'm not playing, I guess, but I'm sure the guys kind of feel it. We're gonna have a lot of first time in that environment type feeling for a lot of those kids. Minus, I think, 3 of our kids right now. Nobody else has played in a lot of minutes in a sectional basketball game. So, depending on how our crowds travel, I don't know how well. I'm sure our fans will show. I'm sure they'll bring some fans with them, but it'd be a lot more packed if it was at Tri-County or if it was at West Central or even at North White. I think just being more local, but I'm sure they'll have a good crowd there. There'll be fans there from the second game, West Central, North White. They'll probably be there waiting for their game to start, so I'm sure there'll be quite a bit of fans there. We'll see how loud they are. And, always love the sectional atmosphere. The band's playing, cheerleaders going, just everything about it. It's
amped
awesome.
up. And
it's awesome. But yeah, I think get out of those initial jitters. I think our guys will be all right. We just got to settle in and take it one possession at a time.
All right, Ricky, thanks for coming over. I appreciate it, and good luck this week, and good luck Tuesday, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday about the sectional, all right?
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, Ricky Montemeyer from the South Newton Rebels. Back and talk with Billy Shepard from the Kankakee Valley Cougars right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New insulation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask, give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Back on the Coach's Cage show on 3kgthecage.com. Kankakee Valley Boys coach Bill Shepard has stepped behind the microphone now. Billy, good to see you. How's it going?
Good, Bob. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Well, we're kind of winding up the season here and then looking ahead toward next week sectional play. But Cougars played twice, 2 wins. Tell us about them.
Yeah, on Friday night we hosted Hanover Central, a new conference opponent for us this year. They stepped into the Northwest Crossroads Conference. It was their first year in the league. We always play. It's always a tough game against Hanover. That's going to be probably a pretty good budding rivalry in conference as that goes on now. But it was a nip and tuck game all throughout the game. We actually did in the third quarter. We did wind up getting a little bit of separation. Got up by 10 or 11 in the third quarter, but Hanover, as we knew they would, made a run. They tied it up with a 3-pointer with about 20 seconds left in the game, and we came down and called timeout with about 7 seconds left and drew up a play, and lo and behold, the play worked. We executed the play really well, and Cam Webster hit about an 8-foot shot with about 2 seconds left, put us up 2, and they had to go the length of Hanover had to go the length of the floor, and they threw it out of bounds, and then we were able to get the ball in bounds again, and Cam Webster got fouled, hit 2 free throws, and wound up winning by 4. So it was a exciting game all around, and it was definitely a good conference win to get. That put us at 4-2 in the conference for the year. So that was a pretty good win for us.
How satisfying is it to where you're tie game with a few seconds left, and you run the play like you're supposed to play, and then it works?
Real satisfying. I mean, it's satisfying just to execute whether it works or not, just to see them carry it out onto the court and execute how they're supposed to execute. I mean, you can't really control whether you make the shot or not, but you can at least control how you run the play. And it was great that it worked out for us. And Cam had an option of handing it off to our point guard Bobby Lalonde, or else taking it himself, and he faked the handoff and took it. And the fake handoff drew both Hanover defenders. He was pretty open at the time, and to his credit, most kids would have just stopped and shot the 3, but he drove in and got an 8-footer instead, and a lot more high percentage shot to win the basketball game. So, it was a really good win for us, and we're obviously we were happy to get another conference win under our belt. So that helped us out a lot there.
Who played well for you?
Cam led us to 25. And he was the only one double figures that night for us. But we had 3 guys, I believe, with 8. Brady Sampson, Jeremiah Jones, and Bobby Lalonde each had 8 for us that night. So
familiar names.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were close to him. We were 6 points away from having 4 guys double figures. So we typically spread it out pretty good. And that night we did the same thing. So they all played pretty well. But it was definitely nerve-wracking down the stretch, but the kids held it together and got a big win.
Now, is Hanover Central a 3A school too?
They are, yes.
And they'll probably be in your sectional.
I'd say they probably would be, yeah.
Okay, well, that'll be a good thing to see in the coming years for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and Saturday you played?
Yep, Saturday McCutcheon came up. Hadn't played them in a long time, but McCutcheon came up, and we were able to play against them. I mean, they're struggling a little bit with their record, but
Tyler Shear?
Yep, Tyler Shear. But
how's Tyler doing?
Good. Doing real well. But McCutcheon plays a really tough schedule, so the record doesn't mean they're bad.
Right.
They just like I said, that conference they play in is ridiculously good. And, so anyway, yeah. So they came up, and we got out to we played a really solid first half on both ends. We were up 24-11 at halftime, and playing really good defense. Offense was okay, but I just think the flow of the game was a little bit more slow, on both ends. But so we did okay, but the defense was really solid. And I joked with people. Then all of a sudden, at the second half, and the NBA All-Star game broke out. And it was just basket here, basket there, basket here. But defense wasn't optional. It was like almost like you were punished if you played it, And so it was just wild. The second half, they scored 52 in the second half, and we scored 45 in the second half. So just one of those deals where we were just back and forth, and just score. And
where'd the defense go from the first half?
I know, But so anyway, obviously we had a big enough lead at halftime where it never got to a point where it was like, whoa, we're in trouble here,
right?
But we wound up winning 69-63, and so that was another pretty good win for us. So getting our last two wins at home there back to back on the weekend was good. So we hopefully we can carry that keep carrying that on. That made us 8-3 in our last 11. So we're playing pretty well now.
Star players for that game?
Of course, Cam. Cam led us with 26. Actually, he hit 2 free throws with about 17 seconds left. Maybe about 20 seconds left. That actually broke the school record for career scoring.
Really?
Yep. So
congratulations.
He became our high school career scoring leader. Rick Seatsma had the record in 1977. That's how long the record had been standing. So he broke it, and we stopped the game for that. So that was a good moment for him. It was senior night for him too, so it was cool to get that record on senior night.
Seemed to me like he's up in his average about 25, 26 a game now.
Last about 3 weeks it's been that way.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing.
That's definitely a good thing. On the other end, it's kind of weird because from the 3-point land, he hasn't been shooting as well as he would like or want to.
Right.
So so there still might be some room for improvement there a little bit too, but yeah, so Cam played well, and then I know the old usual suspects, Brady Sampson and Jeremiah Jones, I believe they each had 15 for us that night. So just again the usual suspects come along and play well on the offensive end, and like I said, it was a defensive struggle for 16 minutes, and it was an NBA All-Star game for 16 minutes. So
that's got to be reassuring when you have 3 guys that you can count on to score like that.
Oh yeah. It's definitely a luxury to have those 3 guys that night in, night out. They're going to get you 45 to 60, depending points every night. Depending on how things go. And
some teams don't score 45 or
correct,
60.
Correct. So it's nice to know that those guys are in some form or fashion are always going to pick up the slack, and just hopefully they continue to do that and be as consistent. I mean, some nights it's these 2, some nights it's those 2, some nights it's all 3. But you always have a group of those 3 that consistently, does well on most nights.
What's ahead for the rest of the regular season here?
We are at North Judson on Friday night. That's always a tough game. That's always a tough place for us to go play because it'll be their senior night. They'll be fired up, and they'll be ready to go. And they beat us on the last second shot at our place last year. So we're gonna. We'll have to make sure we go over there ready to play, focused. What's really difficult when the sectional draw comes out, and hey fellas, we still got a game to play. Especially when it's a road game.
Right.
So we got to stay focused and make sure. Our goal after we lost to East Chicago Central a couple weeks ago, our goal was to finish out 4-0. Well, we got 3 of them. So we need to get this 4th one. And then obviously going to sectional a little bit of momentum roll here. So we're just obviously going to go over there and just stick to the game plan that we've been doing the last few games, and we should be okay. But once again, that's up to us to make sure we execute.
All right, let's go into the sectional, 4A sectional at Chesterton, I believe.
Yep.
Do you get to practice over there, or you don't do that?
Yeah, we're going to go there Saturday from 11 to 12:30. We're going to work our practice over there that day.
What do you try to accomplish when you have a sectional practice?
First and foremost, get as many shots up on both baskets as you can. So we're going to do shooting drills on both ends. Other than that, work on some of the things that you're going to be implementing. We've already started to do this a little bit in practice too. Work on some of the things you're going to be implementing for your opponent. And that's basically what we do. But the number one goal is to get as many shots up on both the baskets as you can so the kids can get used to the background and used to everything like that.
All right. Can you tell our viewers the sectional draw? Who's playing who?
Yeah, on Tuesday night, the first game is going to be Portage against Chesterton. And there's just one game on that Tuesday. And then on Wednesday night next week, there's 2 games. We're the first one. Again, it's us against Crown Point.
So you won't be here next week?
I will not be here next Wednesday. I'll be I'll be coaching. But
Okay.
It'll be us against Crown Point. Clinton Swan coaches them. We go way back. He played at Rensselaer in the early '90s, and
Right.
And I played at KB in the early '90s. So we've been friends for years. And then the second game on Wednesday night is Valparaiso against Hobart, and then the 7th team in the sectional, Lowell. They drew the bye on Friday night, and they'll play the winner of the Portage Chesterton. So that's the draw there.
So you play Crown Point. You didn't play them in the regular season, right?
Correct. Yeah, we did not play Crown Point in the regular season, so that'll be a new team for us to go up against.
Give us a scouting report on them.
Solid, a really solid ball club. They're just fundamentally sound. Clinton does a great job. They're very well coached. They run what they're supposed to run well. They don't get out of their comfort zone very much. They don't force stuff very much. They're just very confident in what they do. It's going to be a tough challenge, but I mean, as we've talked about before, anybody that's going to win that section is going to have to at least go through 2 or 3 tough challenges. So,
is there a favorite in your eyes or not?
I would say Crown Point is one of the favorites. Crown Point's going to be one of the favorites in a lot of people's eyes, and I think Portage, the way they're playing now, we beat them earlier in the year, but the way they're playing now with the draw they got, just having to, if they beat Chesterton, they got to go through Lowell and then they're in a championship game. I think that benefits them some. But Chesterton for them won't be easy to beat either. So just one of those situations where to win that thing, you're going to have to put together 2 or 3 good games, and it's just. Whoever has got the cast of characters that can do that week, then that's who's going to come out on top.
Absolutely. Well, tell me the keys for Kankakee Valley to beat Crown Point next week.
Don't get sped up, and it's not that they pressure a lot, but it's just maintain your poise, maintain your control. Don't try to do too much. Against some of their players. Just execute what you're asked to execute, and then defensively we have to defend, we have to rebound. So those would be the keys that I would say on the defensive end: defend and rebound, and execute the plan there. But then on the offensive end, just don't try to do too much. Just play basketball, move the basketball, find open shots with the extra pass. And sometimes if that means you got to pass the ball for 40 seconds, and that's what that means. But Crown Point's not your average team. I mean, they're not going to break down the first 5 seconds, so don't expect them to. And just give it time, and good things will happen. But sometimes we like to go a little quick, and then I'm going to keep impressing on the kids that we can't do that.
You worry about sectional pressure or no?
I'll be really honest. I don't think against Crown Point we're the favorite. I think most people would say Crown Point would be the favorite against us. So I don't think on my end I worry about that as much as I would be if I was favored. If you were favored, then you worry about the sectional pressure a little bit more. But I mean, we go into it with, if we really don't have a whole lot to lose.
Right.
We just go into it and play loose and knock down a couple shots, and the longer it goes, the more pressure goes on them.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the way I look at it. If I was in their shoes, I'd probably be feeling a little bit more pressure coming in than I do in our shoes. So
that makes sense.
I try to make sense once in a while.
Yeah, I know. I never really kind of thought of it that way.
I mean,
now you think of it that way.
I'm a KB grab, but I try to make sense once in a while.
Billy, thanks for coming down. How'd the JV Cougars finish?
They are 10-11 right now. If they beat Judson, they're going to finish 500. So that's a goal.
Right.
So they're going into they lost a couple games this weekend, but their best player was out with the flu, that didn't help us at all.
Right.
Hopefully he's back now. So hopefully they can go over to Judson, pick themselves up a win, and finish at 500. Because like I said, I mean, having a good varsity year like we've had, if we win on On Friday we'll be 14-9, and then having the JV be 500 would be a good thing to follow that up.
Billy, thanks for coming down. Appreciate it, and good luck the rest of this week, and guess we will see you in 2 weeks then.
Correct. We'll be here.
All right. Bill Shepard from the Kankakee Valley Cougars, back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117, or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
At Applegate Seed House, we specialize in any and all small seed project needs. This includes government programs, CRP, pollinators and waterways, pasture mixes, and new lawn seed. Applegate Seed House is located 2 miles north of Brook, Indiana, and 2.5 miles east of Highway 41. Call Sam at 765-363-3113. That's Sam at Applegate Seed House, 765-363-3113.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New insulation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Every day you listen to the news, but how is that news affecting your financial world? Things like your retirement and your kids' college fund. You need someone who can help you work towards your goals. Someone to help you move forward in the times of change. Call Mindy Byer at Morgan Stanley. Mindy has 20 years of experience as a financial advisor, and she's right here in Northwest Indiana. To make an appointment with Mindy Byer, call 765-420-8433. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
All right, ready to wrap things up on the Coach's Cage show from Arnie's Pizza here in Rensselaer. Thank Arnie's and the gang for feeding and giving drinks to our coaches here, and thank all the sponsors for making things possible here on 3KG. The Cage, good luck to all the area teams that are finishing their season and then start sectional play next week. We'll have a recap minus we won't have Chad Pulver or Bill Shepard here next week because they're playing that night, so both of those teams. So other than that, the usual group should be here. So I'd like to thank Scotty Miller for doing double, triple duty here tonight. For Scotty, this is Bob Kurtz from Arnie's. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.